Okay, so in the last part, I feel like I neglected to talk about a lot of the stuff that's different from Daggerfall. So now I guess I'll show you some more things.
Yes?
Yes. For example, the dialogue. Dialogue is pretty much a streamlined version of Daggerfall's dialogue. So you have your topics here, and instead of like the polite, blunt, and normal ways of talking, that's all gone. You just have the persuasion instead. And you used to have like etiquette and streetwise skills, but that's all just been condensed into speechcraft. And with the speechcraft skill, you can more successfully admire, intimidate, taunt, or bribe a person. Admire raises the person's disposition with you permanently until you lower it by doing something he doesn't like. Intimidate raises it temporarily because he'll be scared of you and he'll be more willing to tell you more things. But then he'll remember that you intimidated him and he won't like that. Taunt will lower the disposition, and if you're good enough, it will successfully get the person to start attacking you. And that's a way you can get into combat and kill someone without breaking the law. Bribing is what you do if your speechcraft is not high enough to use admire, intimidate, or taunt. It just makes them like you more. It's an easier way of admiring, but it uses money. Okay, so here we have our topics list. That's how you get information. Kind of like in Daggerfall. Except in this game, sometimes when you talk about one topic, it'll open up other topics. Like here. I talked about Morrowind history, and then he told me about current events. Now I can talk to him about current events. And different NPCs will have different lists of topics. So, okay, so there's also training. Training is pretty much like it was in Daggerfall. It passes the time. Except in this game, you don't have to wait in between training sessions. You can just do them rapidly. There's no limit to how many you can do per level. And their cost is not tied to your level. They're tied to how high the skill is. So that's dialogue. Alright, so I'm going to go to this Drummer Ruin, get the artifact that he wanted, because he won't tell me about the Nerevarine until I get him
Yes, what is it?
this artifact, and he likes artifacts because he's a history nerd. This is a really good sword because it paralyzes. Paralyze is very useful. But it's short blade and I'm not skilled in that. Okay, I should probably get some throwing stars. And I should get some armor too. Let's see. I just found one Grievous. That's a new addition as well. When you're the archery skill has been turned into a marksman skill, and it's marksman because you can use a bow or you can use thrown weapons. That's another thing that wasn't in Daggerfall. Okay, so this should be good enough loadout.
What's your story?
For completing the mission in the Dome of Ruin.
Speak up!
Marcella.
Because there are going to be some enemies in there. It's going to take a little while for me to walk there. So this game is really near and dear to me because I started playing it when I was like 11 years old. My friend showed it to me. I was like, holy crap, you can just go anywhere and do anything and just kill people randomly. That's amazing. At first I was just like really terrible at it. And my friend would always facepalm at me because I just had no idea what I was doing. This game does have a bit of a learning curve. But then I got hooked on it. I couldn't stop, and I lost track of how many hours I spent on this game, like a really long time ago. So I'd say this is my favorite Elder Scrolls game. I might be biased, but it has so much lore to it, and there's so much depth to its gameplay, and the world is so interesting and alien. I just think it's wonderful. Okay, so here's the first bit of combat you'll be seeing. I'm going to try to sneak up on this guy. So I can do sneak attack damage. Ah, shoot. Made sneaking one of his skills. Yeah, so the combat in this game is a hybrid of die rolls, like Dungeons and Dragons style die rolls, and traditional action game combat. It's very controversial. You either love it or you hate it. Personally, I think it's very innovative. I think it works okay even if you do miss when you're directly in front of the guy. Alright. Survived our first bit of combat. Alchemical ingredient that I just picked up. In this game you can do alchemy yourself instead of going to a temple and having someone make potions for you. There's an alchemy skill that you can use. It's greatly improved. There are also potion stores instead of having to go to a temple and buy potions. There are entire shops dedicated to selling it. Okay, can't rest in here. Just stay out here. Ah, shoot. Yeah, these Dwemer, they like their half spherical doors. Okay, it goes back. So there are lots of these Dwemer ruins all over the game world. They're really interesting because they have like steampunk technology. They have like robots powered by steam. It's really cool. You'll see lots of people looting them. They don't like it if you come near and start looting yourself. They want it all to themselves. So you'll typically have to fight them off. Unless your personality is... if your personality and speechcraft are really high, then you can avoid fighting them. But my personality and speechcraft are not that high, fortunately. Claymore do the talking. Oh, another thing, the interface in this game, it is a huge improvement to the interface in Daggerfall. That game, his interface was really clunky. Not gonna lie. But this game has the best interface out of all the Elder Scrolls games because it has like its own little windowing system. You can customize the menu, just move all these windows anywhere, and close them, open them back up. It's so great. I don't know why they didn't keep the menu, because in the newer games they're not nearly as good. Like you can even keep it open while you're moving around. So you can have your world map open while you're exploring. It's really a shame that they downgraded the menu so much in the newer games. Okay, so this is not where I need to go. Go up. Let's get some Dwemer coins. One Dwemer coin. Now behind here is going to be a pretty tough enemy. I'm not entirely sure if I can beat him. Just drink some of this liquor. Improve my strength. The strength is terrible. But now it's decent. So.
Surrender now, or I might let you live.
Yeah, I got him.
You're mine.
Yeah, he's nothing. Ain't got nothing. That wasn't a problem at all. So he's been doing a lot of looting. He's got some scrolls that you can use to open locks. There's the Dwemer artifact that I needed. Just do a little bit more looting before we leave. Take these goblets. So yeah, there were no scrolls in Daggerfall, I don't believe. No, there weren't. Scrolls in this game are a way of using spells without being good at casting spells. But they're one use only. You have to buy them. Or loot them. Just in case I get by that guy. This guy's pretty tough. Really good at dodging. Oh god. Sanctuary spell wears off. Use a dark elf so you can cast a spell with the effect called Sanctuary that makes him hard to hit. Oh god. Special racial abilities. So the combat doesn't look very fun, but there's really more to it than it looks like. I mean, you have your success rate of hitting depends on how high your fatigue is. Your success rate of casting a spell is how high your fatigue is. You have to kind of manage your fatigue, magicka, and health. And you can use different scrolls or potions to boost your attributes while you're fighting. There's more to it than just swinging your sword. Okay, so this guy is a Dark Brotherhood Assassin. He's wearing very expensive armor that I can sell. The reason he showed up is because I have the expansion, the Tribunal expansion, and that's where you can track down the Dark Brotherhood and get them to stop trying to assassinate you. But I'm not going to do that just yet, because I want to complete the base game first. I kind of like having them attack me because they drop that expensive armor. That way I can make money a lot easier. See what's in here. Okay, well I guess this is a good stopping point. I'll see you next time.